Hello everybody, I'm the Hammer Game Channel, and welcome back to HOI4 Kaiserredux, where today we're taking a trip to the Combined Syndicates of America, as we're going to be checking out the Al Capone Successors tree, which was added with one of the recent updates. So here we are, the Combined Syndicates of America. We've literally just broken free from the United States. Yes, we have the one and only Smedley Butler as our current Field Marshal. We do actually have a lot of generals as well. A lot of level 1s who are obviously going to have to see some action if they're going to be of any real use to us. So of course we do go ahead and gain Federalist Resistance and also Scattered Minuteman Resistance, so we're not getting some good bonuses here. And the Major Black Legion Resistance as well. All great stuff. The American Union State has offered us peace, and we are indeed going to accept it because it reduces the amount of fronts we've got to cover in the initial stages of the Civil War. We will probably ultimately end up at war with the American Union State, but I'll take peace to begin with. PSA has also offered us peace, and I am also going to accept it as well, because we do lose some stability and war support, but the PSA usually absolutely steamrolls their way through the Western Command Center, and they do give the AUS a good fight. So it just means if they push into the AUS, we don't have to move troops to cover a front that just gets made by the AUS losing. So it just means we've got to focus on the CAR and the USA to begin with, which is just ideal, really. Huey Long has accepted the peace deal, so we're now going to be at peace with the AUS for the time being. And yes, the clan resistance is growing. Wonderful. Yeah, I do want to actually keep a hold in New York, so for the Battle of New York, we're going to take the first option, which allows us to hold on. So there we go, the Civil War has begun, and we are only at war with the Western Command Center, the CAR, and the USA. So very ideal starting situation for us. Okay, we're making some good progress against the Federalist government here. Why has a random wee pocket just appeared in Atlantic City? Okay, the CR is actually pushing quite aggressively against us, so we do need to actually go ahead and get some more troops out to there. We've just gained in our 15 militia units from New York, which is definitely ideal for us. We'll go ahead and get our 8 from New Jersey. This is an event we've been waiting for. Scarface, aka Al Capone, has offered his support to us, and of course we're going to accept it. And look at all of that equipment we gained from him. What a man. With that nice influx of guns from Al Capone, we're looking very healthy at this moment in time, which means these divisions are going to be at peak strength. So hopefully we can't... the mob gets involved in the war. Okay. Well, accepting Scarface's support is continuing to be very, very beneficial for us. I've decided to mount a pretty aggressive offensive on the CR right now, just to start pushing them back. Well, things are proceeding pretty nicely against the CR right now. I'm hoping that with this successful push we'll be able to better surround the Federalist government and we'll deal with them as well. Okay, so the revolt in the CR is underway, so they're fighting each other. We're obviously not at war with them. The Federalist government looks like they're pushing forward, and they've left a very weak front with us. So we're going to use our infantry here to hopefully break through at this moment in time. Radicals are opposing the treaty now between us and the AUS. We're going to go ahead and prolong it. So I think the next event we have no choice but to go to war, but we'll take the prolongment for the time being. Wonderful, there goes the Federalist government. Kinda don't want the revolt to win, because I'll then have to invade them as well. It's just better if they do actually lose the CR, but I have a funny feeling the way things are going, they're probably going to live on. Well, the prolongment didn't last for long. Congress has abolished or absolved the treaty, so I've got 12 days to get in position before I need to just complete this. Well, I think there's actually more of us in position than the American Union States troops, so we are going to go ahead and just kick this off now. It was coming. Sadly, peace was never supposed to be a thing between us. Luckily, right now, we still have our peace deal with the PSA, so when we do eventually reach up with them, we don't have to engage them. So that's one thing we've got going for us right now. For the most part, things are looking good. It actually looks like the PSA are having a better time pushing into Huey than we are right now. We do see a lot of green over here, which is good. It's just a bit more stacked. At least things should kind of be a little bit better once the CR eventually falls. I think we will sadly have to deal with the revolt afterwards. It's just a shame we can't reach Atlanta, because that would actually kill off the CR. We are very close to it. Actually, we should, hopefully, be near it very, very soon. Oh, come on, the CR are so close to capitulating. Atlanta is very much in our sights. Oh, that's a nice wee pocket there in Huntsville. Yes, we're currently laying siege to Atlanta. Oh, finally, the CR are no more. Yeah, the American Union State is not, oh my days, not having a great time at all. It's just a shame that New Orleans is right down in this corner, which is we're gonna have to push right through anyways to get to it. Oh, we're about to cut off. Yeah, New Orleans has been cut off. Just gonna smash right through them. Yeah, this war seems to be going relatively straightforward for us. In fact, we're about to take Biloxi, which is the last port over here for them, and now we can assist with taking down New Orleans. Yeah, that's significantly helped out our supply situation, so we should be able to deal with New Orleans now. I'll give it to these troops. They have managed to hold on for a lot longer than I thought they were going to be able to. But I think the final nail in the coffin is going to be coming down very, very soon. Yeah, there goes New Orleans, so yeah, there goes the American Union State. Well, interesting position we now find ourselves in, PSA. I forgot you were backed by the Entente as well. The Pacific States has decided that since we are allies, we're allies over the course of the war, that the current CSA is more or less friends of democracy and putting their personal reservations about the populace aside, have offered to hold a national referendum for control of the nation, with the current leadership of either PSA or CSA becoming the dominant partner in a national government. Likewise, with only a few Supreme Court justices still remaining both alive and credible, this would effectively hand the Supreme Court to the victor and allow for appointees to occupied areas to be decided via an informal proportional representation depending on the results of the referendum. As many syndicalists believe the Western bourgeoisie is simply attempting to save itself from the inevitability of world socialism, they are pushing us to take all of America and say that to do otherwise would be needlessly surrender to them. Wait, but we could get peace here. We could unite just as a CSA here. I think we do it. I want to see what happens. Oh no, we do get to choose. So the PSA could win or the CSA. Well, obviously we're going to take the option that benefits us. So the CSA is going to win. There we have it. The end of the Second American Civil War. Bring on the economic aftermath and the political aftermath of it. Of course, sadly, the amount of military factories we have has greatly shrunk. So we're going to have to start sorting out the nation and just get our economy back up and running, because obviously we're going to want to get involved, hopefully, to help the Third International win today. Oh, I kind of clicked off the event there without really pointing it out, but yeah, Jack Reed's now the president because Big Bill Haywood has sadly passed away. The Constitutional Convention has now begun, so we'll see who's going to take over. I really do hope we get the Totalists. I think that's who we need to take over. And here it is. Election day is here, and we have the choice for Al Capone to assume control. And oh boy, are we taking that option. Al Capone, Terror in the Night, and Scarface. So as much as I want to start getting right through Al Capone's part of the tree, I do actually just want to quickly go ahead and actually get to the point where we can start rebuilding the nation. Wait, I can go ahead and create the axis of bosses. And here we go. Chairman Capone leads America. So yeah, some changes to party names and the centrist faction becomes the ruling party. Perfect, we went ahead and crushed the Minutemen. They are no longer an issue for us. So Capone has just promoted some of his comrades to military positions, and those four individuals are Lucky Luciano, Clyde Barrow, Bonnie Parker, and John Dillinger. Well, that's not ideal. Mexico's in the Third International. I was actually wanting to invade them. Oh well, maybe I will be backstabbing the Third International after all. Okay, so the Axis of the Bosses has been formed. So far, we can ask Goring to join us. No, surely not. So we could get the Italian National Social State, legation cities New York, the Shandong clique, the Patagonian Workers' Front, Gorangia, Mercenaries of the Congo, the Panama Zone, and Fiume. That's an interesting bunch of nations. How is the Panama Zone formed? Don't know, but we'll invite them. And then we'll go ahead and kick Goring in, because that's just cursed. Ah yes, wonderful. We've now got the Rebuilding America decisions, which allows us to obviously rebuild the nation and core all of the territory. There's no point wasting 25 political power in doing those. I think we need to obviously spend the 80 once we get that. It's not that we don't actually have factories building at this moment in time, but obviously there's a lot more factories to gain from coring all of America. So we're just going to continue to build military factories for the time being, because we need our military industry to kind of take off Oh, looks like Smedley's maybe going to disappear as John Dillinger has taken command of the Red Army, so he's getting promoted to Field Marshal. But Smedley's level 6, John's terrible! Oh, well, it makes sense to have the Mafia kind of controlling all of our troops, really. Sorry, what? The Canadian intervention looming? Excuse me? Who do they think they are? Oh my days, Goring's just joined us. Oh, that's wonderful. The opium paradise that is. We better send out some troops to help him. Oh my days, the silly fools have done it. We just get emergency reserves though, which is ideal. Because how strong is the Canadians? Oh my days, they're weak as mints. You just continue on to Africa. Yeah, they've also declared war on the Third International. What a genius move. Big brain move here. Very big brain. Yeah, the Canadians are really not having a good time here. We're actually pushing towards Halifax. Montreal's within reach. Quebec is also in reach. So most of their major cities are pretty much going to be under our control. Vancouver's already gone. Oh, finally, we've taken Halifax. Surely that's Canada dead. How are they not dead? You're telling me Victoria is that much of a major city? It's ridiculous how the Canadians have not capitulated at this point. Like, we're even pushing into Newfoundland. Just all because they still control Victoria. Which I'm not going to be able to take, so we're just going to have to grind this out until the last... Oh, that's only 1%, that's fine. Finally, Canada's died, right? Let's negotiate peace with the Entente. Yes, thank you, France. Much appreciated, man. It's our manifest destiny to annex Canada. Damn right it is. And there we go, confirmation that America has been liberated. We have done it. Syndicalism rules supreme. And Frank Nitti has been declared a field marshal. Oh, Panama's declared war on Costa Rica. Bonnie, we will send you there. We'll aid them. Luckily, Costa Rica's not in a faction today, which is very unusual. No! We've just executed Smedley Butler. And after many hours of interrogation, he confessed to plotting with a group of industrialists and business magnates to overthrow Capone. No, Butler. Why? Well, Costa Rica very quickly met their end once I got my troops over there. Oh my days, the Finns are actually being very successful right now against the Russians. They managed to take Petrograd. I'm not liking how the Commune of France is starting to lose, so I'm actually going to go ahead and help them out. So whilst the majority of our army is heading off to Europe, we are sending Bonnie back to Africa to help Goring take down his current enemies, because, you know, we want to keep him around. Oh no, Goring's on a warpath. A very big warpath. Yeah, I'm not liking what Goring's doing. He's probably just going to declare war on absolutely everybody. At least Bonnie's almost back. So the Commune of France is actually starting to hold on. I'm just going to wait a little bit longer before I get involved then, because we do have a bit of a deficit of equipment. Yeah, Goring really isn't making this easy, and in fact, he's actually at war with the Entente. Right, well, we're back at war with the Entente once again. Oh my days, Goring has declared war on absolutely everybody. He's an idiot. Uh-oh, the mad boss of America. It's the beginning of the end for Al Capone, I'm afraid. He's starting to go crazy, because many have started to see some erratic behaviour from him. So, yeah. This is not good. Okay, so things are getting worse with Capone. He is getting more and more unhinged, and he's lately been throwing multiple parties, some lasting days on end. And although he has parties quite frequently, they're getting more and more out of hand, and the aftermaths are being harder and harder to keep out of the sight of the public, who, upon seeing what has been going on, might say, you know, start having a different opinion of the boss. Okay, so kind of a good and a bad thing here. Bad for the party overall, but it's a good thing in regards to Capone, because he's starting to be less selfish, and he's actually putting proposals out that are going to try and better the life of, you know, the nation's citizens. However, the members of the party are starting to see this as a threat to their own power, as he's just giving away more and more of what they've earned. So, yeah, I don't know how this is going to really change up things. Oh, I've just noticed, we're now the Union of Socialist Syndicates of America. Yeah, things are still not looking great for Goring. I'm trying my hardest to actually keep things together here, but it's becoming more and more difficult to do so. Okay, we've finally taken the port over here, so we can start pushing a little bit more aggressively. So with Capone's failing mind reaching a critical juncture, with his psyche all but shattered, we have two options. We can have Capone refuses to change leadership despite his worsening condition, or we can have him coaxed into a secret retirement for the good of the nation. If we take the second option, we've got to wait till he's in real life death, which was in 1947, which I'm not waiting our 6 years for him to pass away. If we take this option, he's going to be assassinated and someone new will take over, so we're going to take that top option. Well. That's Capone now being assassinated by Paul Ricca the Rat and Jaime Weiss, who bribed Capone's bodyguards and medical staff to basically leave him unattended. And Weiss was planted as Capone's driver, and basically Capone had a seizure in the limo. So during that moment, Weiss tried to assassinate him by strangling him. However, that didn't work because his neck was too fat and greasy from his illness and failing health. So he took out a little capsule full of potassium cyanide and shoved it into Capone's mouth, who obviously then succumbed to the cyanide. So yeah, he's gone. Well, the Caponist Congress convenes. Meeting in an expanded back basement of the Green Mill Jazz and Cocktail Lounge off to the side of Broadway in Upton, Chicago. The most secret meeting of the Caponist Congress ever is about to begin. Not held in any official government office or town building, but instead in the seedy cellar of Capone's favourite bar and former hangout with his 5 Point gang, now owned and operated by his good friend and organisation, Camporgime, Machine Gun Jack McGurn. The Congress shall take the next few days or even weeks to determine the new face of the Caponist regime amid the cigar smoke and stench of red wine, gun mars and whores. In attendance are not only front-running dons with a chance to win like Dillinger, Nitti, Hoffa, Sive and Rika, but a whole array of other leaders and prominent figures like the surviving Capone family members, including Big Al's widow May Capone and his son Albert Francis Capone, and one of his 2 surviving brothers, Ralph Capone. Although the black sheep of the family, Richard James Capone Hart, Capone's oldest brother and ex-criminal turned lawman and then rancher, refused to attend, while Capone's other criminal brother Frank couldn't attend on account of being violently whacked in 1924. Others include Luciano Torrio Lansky and the rest of the 5 families and wider American mafia of New York City, the Barrow Gang and their varied cadre of illegalist bandits and anarchist rogues under the Texan duo Bonnie and Clyde, with their new international ally Jules Rene Lucien Belbinot, and more political neutral loyalists like Pretty Boy Floyd and his gang of Robin Hood-esque humanitarian bank robbers, Bugsy Siegel and his Parliamentary Murder Inc. Big Bill Dyer, and his Irish mob, and more, including Tony Arcardo, Frank Costello, Anthony Arreso and Big Bill Lias, to name just a few of the hundreds of varied crime bosses in attendance. Holy moly, how many people are at this? Despite their constant infighting, even the death of few representatives already being tallied, these kingpins, along with the various other Black Hand and White Hand extortion groups, minor mobs and mafias, pirate bands and whatever other criminal groups have jumped into the Caponist dream, now hold the weight of America's future on their shoulders, and now they must debate until they are all long in the tooth, and without killing each other, for a successor of Scarface must be chosen now. Holy moly! There's like everybody and their mums at this meeting. So the news has just been broken to the masses. The public have now been made aware that the chairman has sadly passed away. And the morning of late Scarface has occurred. Please tell me we didn't just drive a car with a massive portrait like that of him. No. Please no. That's awful. Okay, so the Caponist Congress finally holds the vote. Now that Chairman Capone is dead and buried, an open power struggle has emerged between his closest allies and fiercest rivals, with the new Caponist Congress being held in the south side of Chicago. Its various dons and bosses cast their votes, kill their rivals, and hand out their bribes to determine Scarface's successor. Despite the deaths and sudden disappearance of many minor members, the Congress has continued, and its main stars are already in play. I would love to know the total death count from just this Congress. Jimmy Hoffa leads the moderate semi-syndicalist faction, dominated by his Teamsters and unions and dogged by corruption allegations, while Capone's personal enforcer, John Dillinger, leads the hardliners with the aid of the OSS, the Red Army, and various mafioso militias. Frank Nitti as Capone's chosen heir and lifelong best friend, is the favourite to win, but is known to be spineless, averse to leadership roles while preferring to delegate instead, and is possibly being blackmailed by famous hitman anti-socialist Paul Ricca the Rat de Lucia, while Roaring Dan Seavey of the Red Navy seeks to keep Caponism relatively unchanged while infusing some left libertarian ideas and pivoting towards piracy and the pursuit of criminal thalassocracy. What the hell is that? He dubs neo-Caponism. On the fringes of the Congress, the illegalist anarchists Bonnie and Clyde seek to free Caponism with their anarchist philosophy, but many are wary of their ally René Belbonneau and his shady Third National contacts, and Charles Lucky Luciano returns from New York in order to seize control of his old rival's empire in order to pursue total criminal unity and peaceful coexistence supported by his own idea of mobster populism. Though many have put their name in, only these factions stand a chance of winning and surviving to see another day. So who wins the power struggle and leads in Capone's place? So you have Natite on the strings of Rika rises Capone's traitor, and we complete the focused orthodox Caponism by Natite's trusted hand. Dillinger takes command with the Red Army is back. Jimmy Hoffa disappears. Oh wow, just immediately gets rid of someone. We could then have Luciano seize control in interest of mobster unity and populism. Hoffa and his corrupt union allies worm their way to the top. Seavey and the Pirate Lord takes the helm with the aid of the Red Navy. Oh my days, the Free Syndicates of Libertalia. Oh my days. And then Bonnie and Clyde rise together to free Caponism with illegalism. Oh, it's just got to be Bonnie and Clyde. It's just got to be. Oh, interesting development here. The Rattlesnake and Suicidal Sal make their final stand against the Frog. As they've begun to gear up their transformation of Caponist society in the backs of individualist anarcho-Caponism and illegalism, Bonnie Elizabeth Barker and Clyde Chestnut Champion Barrow have come into conflict time and time again with their so-called ally Jules René Lucien Belbonneau. Though his ties to Third International have proved more than helpful as Parisians send weapons and aid to our anarchist struggle, Belbonneau has managed to piss most of his goodwill away by constantly going behind Bonnie and Clyde's back in order to push his own egoist agenda as well as the agenda of his shady foreign benefactors. Both groups seeing the writing on the wall, both the Barrow Gang and the Belbonneau Gang have geared up for all-out war, and now a shootout between the two groups and their leaders have broken out in Chicago's Uptown. Both gangs out for blood as the Barrow gangsters mow down the opposition with their new Tommy guns, while Belbonneau and his men pepper back with French-made handguns and rifles. It's only a matter of time before the gun smoke clears and the leader is finally chosen. So Belbonneau could take over, and we just join the Third National. René Belbonneau becomes a leader and he becomes a field marshal. Well, we're not blinking doing that. So apparently, there's a safe that is rumoured to contain untold riches, which Scarface stored throughout his entire career. Okay, we've got to see what's inside this. Bonnie, Elizabeth Parker and Clyde Chestnut Champion Barrow rise together to co-lead as Capone's chosen successor. The rest of the nation drags its feet under Suicide Sal and the Rattlesnake. Despite their committed loyalty to Capone, many orthodox Caponists and mafioso loyalists find Bonnie and Clyde's interpretation of Caponism incredibly distasteful and near treasonous, as the pair of lovebirds hold fast the idea that their anarcho-Caponist philosophy shall build towards true individualist paradise in the same way traditional anarcho-communism uses temporary communism in order to bring about anarchist utopia. Working with the Barrow Gang under Marvin Buck Barrow, Clyde's older brother, and a lot of other people, along with their new allies from Paris under the egoist anarchist and legitimist criminal Jules René Lucien Belbonneau. Well, he's dead, so he's not an issue whatsoever. With their Italian-American friends and insurrectionist allies within the Galanisti group like Niccolo Sacco, Bartomeu, I don't know how, Vanzetti, Mario Bubda, Bonnie and Clyde and their expanded Barrow Gang work feverishly, bringing about their legalist dream, creating new communes and cooperatives across America and planting ideas of illegalism and anarchist organisation across the state, while also promoting a new cultural and artistic identity based on their Wild West. Oh my days, my English lives as Texan outlaws and inspired by Bonnie's own amateur poetry about life as a criminal and women in America in order to unite the nation behind the enlightened, egalitarian, stateless and violent form of Caponist truth. All that is now left is for Bonnie and Clyde to determine how best to go about the creation and organisation of this new anarcho-Caponist system they are building off the backs of individualist anarchism and illegalism fused in the name of the late Scarface. So we can work with the Caponist illegalists to create a true illegalist fusion, work with those allies that guide the nation towards individualism, So the nationalist faction take over. Brad Salk. The paternal autocrats will join the coalition. The totalists will join it. Work with masses and local democracy to bring the individualist dream. Social democracy. The federalist faction. Okay, sock them. Or push for true syncretic anarcho-Caponist criminal communism. Oh, I like the last one. Oh my days, there was absolutely nothing in Capone's vault. Absolutely nothing. Finally, we're making some progress over here with Goring's, endless amount of enemies that he has. Buy a Tommy gun for home defense. I absolutely adore the Tommy gun. I just think it looks absolutely amazing. Okay, Suicide Sal and the Rattlesnakes hunt for the rat in the pole. Hot in the trail of Paul Ricca and Jaime Weiss after it was discovered that they secretly plotted against Capone in the past in order to seize power for themselves. Bonnie and Clyde, along with the core of their Barrow gang and some of Capone's closest allies, or friends rather, like Frank, Natite, Pretty Boy Floyd, and John Dillinger, all travel quietly and quickly across America in a small convoy in search of the runaway traitors. Catching the fleeing pair near Sales, Benville Parish, deep in northern Louisiana, where they were preparing to head further south to the Gulf of Mexico to escape the nation by sea, Bonnie, Clyde, and the rest of the Barrow gang rode up on Ricca and Weiss in their motorcade. Bonnie and Clyde themselves taking point in their infamous 1934 Ford Model 40B four-door deluxe sedan that the gang has used for years as their roving symbol of terror, while the rest of the Barrow gang and their mafioso entourage, headed by Natite and Dillinger, followed behind as they prepared to deliver their final violent justice. Corn the Rat and the Pollock, as they hid in the drainage ditch near the side of the road a few hundred feet from their abandoned, broken-down car, the Barrow gang hogtied the two scoundrels, carried them back to their vehicle and sat them up in their seats before walking a few dozen paces away from the wreck. Finally, in an unspoken unison, 8 or so members of the Barrow gang that had come, along with Natite, Dillinger, and Pretty Boy Floyd, all aimed their Tommy guns, or sub-guns, as Bonnie likes to call them, in their own poetry, like in The Story of Suicide Sal, and opened fire at Weiss and Ricca. For 6 minutes, the group fired dozens of magazines worth of lead and brass into the hunk of steel, splattering blood and other viscera across the rusted metal of the car and the dusty road around them. Once the cacophonous symphony of the Chicago typewriters finally came to an end, the Barrow gang and the rest of their entourage quietly packed up and drove away, heading back to the capital, leaving the corpses of Ricca the Rat and Jaime the Bull to rot in the sun as the vultures and other scavengers picked away at their corpses, denied a proper burial in a way fitting for the traitorous fiends they are. Goring's actually going to be so thick after this. He has cores on all of the territory. He's going to be ridiculously strong. I am not reading all of that. Holy moly. It's the story of Suicide Sal. If you would like to read this, please pause the video now. And we have a choice here. We could give him a place near the top, just not at the top. He becomes a general. Or we could have him become the leader of the Totalist Party. Which, why on earth would we do that? No. He can become a general. There we go. Look at that. It's all the unique generals and field marshals that we gained from playing this route. The fate of Caponist isolationism. While in power, Capone largely ignored the foreign state of global politics, instead pursuing the time-honoured tradition of America's splendid isolationism in order to entirely focus on the creation of his communist Caponist utopia. Since his passing and the arrival of our version of the post-Caponist system, we have only continued to uphold the idea of ignoring the world outside our borders, but should that continue? While many still believe so, others push for us to take the fight to our old hated foes, the Canadians, in order to secure our northern borders from possible counter-revolutionary activity, while others believe that all of North America, or even the entirety of both Americas, belong in our hands. What shall be our approach going forward? Remain isolated, focus on building our gangster paradise. The Canadians have had it too good for too long. All of North America is our natural domain. The New World and the lost American Empire shall be reclaimed in the name of Capone. Oh my days, I am doing that. We are going to be taking over all South America then. So really, once we help out Goring, we'll divert attention to the West Indies Federation and the Andean Pact, which will obviously give us a good starting point in South America. Brazil isn't too strong at this moment in time. We'll have Africa to naval invade from, and then Argentina's the main guy to deal with down with the Buenos Aires-Lima axis. Wait, what? Where it all started? We're a criminal empire finally secure, and with most settling into the new swing of things, an old concept has once again risen to the surface, nicknamed the Mafioso Risorgimento. The concept calls from the various crime syndicates and gangs that hail from the old masters in Italy, being La Cosa Nostra, or the Mafia of Sicily, the Camorra of Campania, and the, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that, to orchestrate the conquest of our mother Italia in order to save her from the failed ideological concepts and foreign powers that have scavenged at our carcass for decades, if not centuries. However, despite being the birthplace of so many within the organisation, many truly have turned their back on the mother country, especially after major crime wars in the 1910s and 20s between the old guard born in Italy and new up-and-comers born in America that have since gone on to create and dominate organised crime as we know it, leading most to rebuke the ambitious plan as plain crazy. Crazy or not, perhaps it holds some weight. Oh, that would be fun to take over all of that, wouldn't it? I believe the Kingdom of Sardinia is already ours. Oh no, we've got Corsica. And Italy is united, but not in a faction. Oh yes, a nice encirclement of the Baratia Commune's forces. We are tearing through their army. Well, the Baratia Commune is not looking so great at this current moment in time. We are pushing into a lovely little encirclement there. And we are getting closer and closer to Calcutta. Oh, there we go. The Baratia Commune is no more. Just going to take a wee detour and take out the Spanish. Because why not? They're not in a faction. And I want all of Iberia to be mine. Yeah, well, there is really no challenge here against the Spanish, that's for sure. Well, Madrid's about to fall already. I don't even think we've taken that many casualties. Wow, 3k. Still got a few people we need to actually deal with in South America. Obviously the plan is to take it all over anyways. Well, that was relatively straightforward against Spain. Well, that's a fun development. At least we'll be able to get, hopefully, Brazil and Mexico once the Third Internationale falls. And then that way we've just got the Andean Pact, and the Buenos Aires Lima Axis to deal with. Okay, we're going to go ahead and actually kick off an invasion of Mexico. We're not actually going to push it forward, I don't think. Or we might try and maybe slightly push forward. So we'll leave them to do their thing. And as soon as Britain gets called in, naval invasion's away. Well, thank you for leaving Dover completely open. That's very beneficial for us. Now, the fronts have been united, which is ideal for us. Go ahead and just draw proper wee battle plan. And we go. Oh wait, the Commune of France hasn't been called in against us? Yeah, I don't think we're at war with the... No, we're not at war with the Commune of France. Because our divisions are just chilling in London. London is about to be absolutely destroyed. Oh, it's fallen anyways, but there's a lot of divisions that are about to die in here. Yeah, I did manage to get some form of an army out, but it is not enough to save them today. Oh wow, we've obviously puppeted the Union of Britain, and we've put Mosley in charge, as well as James Gralton in Ireland. Oh, it's actually so nice to see our tanks actually engaging in combat. Don't actually know how well we pushed against Mexico, actually. Okay, just taking a wee detour back to the, to India, as we're going to try and secure the south now, so that we can hopefully puppet India. I keep forgetting as we go along, we're actually getting cores on everything that we take in South America and Central America. Well, there we go. The Mysore state is gone. We'll go ahead and stack our troops on Madras now, who we will be invading sometime soon. Well, that's a great defense of Caracas going on there. A whole one division defending it. And it's a cavalry division as well, so it ain't exactly anything too difficult to deal with. In fact, there we go, we've landed. Okay, apparently Goring wants us to join in his war effort against Liberia. Liberia, who is taking a lot of his territory right now, but on the plus side, we're about to take the Liberian capital. There you go, you're welcome, Goring. We've just dealt a massive blow to Liberia already. And it doesn't look like Colombia is going to be in existence for much longer. They will be a part of our glorious empire. Well, I don't know how those two divisions made it, but they've actually helped us take over. Oh, it doesn't matter, because the war is over. Fantastic. Well, this is all getting annexed into our territory. That is absolutely wonderful. We do have some divisions heading out to secure this part of the West Indies. Back in India once again. Time for Madras to disappear now. Oh, we can go ahead and puppet India right now. Oh well, that's good. We'll take over Travancore still, but at least we've got the Bharatiya Commune now. Oh, they are defending. We've landed though, and yes, 19 on 3. Odds are not in their favour. No, they've gone. And they're dead. Fantastic. It's about time that they were finally dealt with. Well, there goes the Central African Republic. Well, literally is just Cameroon left. And then Goring's pretty much going to be, well, a force to be reckoned with in Africa. Oh, he's an idiot. He's just declared war on Egypt. Oh, what is... Goring's just been a pain in the backside the whole game. Cameroon's hopefully falling soon, so we will divert our troops to help Goring hold his front line. Oh, there goes the Dominican Republic. Fantastic. Go ahead and call the Tunisian Commune in so we can actually start pushing through Tripolitania. Because that will be very easily done. Oh, that's a nice wee pocket of Cairo Axis troops in there. That's actually quite a large portion of their army. Well, let's deal with Haiti. Sadly, it is a socialist republic, but yeah, I'm afraid you do need to die. Yep, there they go. I don't really care for any of this, so Goring. Actually, there is one bit I care for. I want the Suez. Thank you. Oh, it's wonderful how we have the Suez. That's absolutely perfect. I believe our invasion of Travancore is now available, so let us deal with them. And we've actually finished off the focus tree because we're blocked from doing anything else over here. So I guess we'll just stick ourselves in a nice air production continuous focus. Just like that, India's united. Perfect. Right. Everybody over to South America because we have Argentina to deal with. Oh geez, not something I've seen happen before, but Goring has pacified Middle Africa. Oh no, he's Herman the First. Oh my days, he's crowned himself king. Well, I think the moment of truth's here. It's time to declare war on Argentina and the Buenos Aires-Lima axis. We can actually go ahead and just declare war on all of them at the exact same time. Buenos Aires is in a danger zone already. In fact, we're winning. I think Argentina's done. I actually think they're thrown in the towel. Oh my days, the casualties for the Buenos Aires-Lima axis was up at almost 800k. Well, there we go. We've literally just got a little part of the Netherlands to deal with in Cuba. Obviously, we're going to have to take down the Reichspakt to get Cuba, which is a lot of effort just to get Cuba. But I have been preparing more divisions. And yes, you can see we've got heavy and super heavy tanks dropping in as well today. Well, we've just declared war on Germany and the French Kingdom. We're going in. The American sleeping giant has awoken. Yeah, we awoke ages ago. We've absolutely conquered the world. We're not going to send over everyone to begin with just yet. We're going to make sure we actually get some supply first. Oh, there goes Paris. And there goes the French. Don't know why the Russians got that land. That's utter bollocks. Oh my days. That whole pocket's dead. That whole pocket is dead. They have been completely cut off. Oh no, the Germans do have military access through Austria. So they're not actually cut off, but they're still in a very bad predicament right now. And there's the collapse of the Reichspakt. So I think peace is just going to be around the corner. Yep, sorry Netherlands, this is just how it had to be, I'm afraid. And you're going to die very, very quickly. Wonderful, that's the Netherlands defeated, so we've taken over the rest of South America. All that's left is for Cuba to fall. That's all we need, and then all of the Americas is ours. Oh my days, I've just noticed we have 33 railguns just chilling in Washington. Okay, I did just sign a non-aggression pact with the Eurasian Empire, just so it kind of protects us from them potentially invading us for the time being. Hello there, Austria. It is time for you to be put down. We'll call in occupied Germany, and then that'll put us at war with the Austrian faction. Well, Prague's already gone, and Brno's about to fall, so I feel like Bohemia's probably going to capitulate. Yep, there they go. We're going to be having the siege of Vienna very soon. Yeah, that's going to fall very, very easily to us. So we're finally going to go ahead and deal with Morocco and with South Africa. We've sent the tanks to both to deal with them, whilst we wait for the advanced landing craft, because I'm going to absolutely obliterate the Italian coastline, because they have a decent number of divisions, but they've got a big border to cover over in Occitania with France, and obviously they have Switzerland as well, so they need to cover that part of the front. They don't have a fleet though. Their fleet is non-existent. My fleet, on the other hand, actually, if we click on myself and actually go to Intel Ledger, yeah, we have 1,025 ships. Yeah, our tanks are having the time of their lives. There we go. Morocco is no more. Yeah, it doesn't appear this is going to be too difficult. Maybe supply might be an issue, but we should be okay. I think we might actually have to invest in building some more tanks, actually. Super heavy. Do we actually have any super heavy out? Yeah, they are out. Forgot. We've got all the types of tanks out. We just don't have light tank divisions. That's where I'm getting confused. They don't exist. Some of the tanks aren't even really meeting any resistance. We're just driving around divisions. So you can probably guess what we're going to be doing to Cuba when it gets time to invade them. Oh my days, we're creating our 36 railway guns. The invasion of Italy now. Our divisions are pretty much ready. We're going to launch the invasion of Sicily first, which is you. And also of you. We're going to try and take Bari and Taranto. Right, we've finally secured Sicily, so the 30 divisions are moving to help hold this front. I think our invasion of Rome and Ancona will go a lot smoother now because they're focusing on this front and obviously the front in the south. Just going to tell both southern groups right now to initiate a counterattack. So a lot of divisions are moving. I want all those on convoy raiding because there's going to be a lot of Italian ships going to be going about in the water very, very soon. Oh, yep, that is a pretty nice encirclement of Italian forces. We've almost killed, yep, over 500k of them dead. They have a lot of divisions, though, apparently. Between 200 now. Really? Okay, we're making the decision here to actually call the French on into this war because I want all 36 tank divisions to smash through Occitania. Or else these guys just hold the line. Actually, it's looking pretty weak, that front. I think we take the opportunity to strike quite hard and fast into them here. Let's just push everybody. That way they're just under constant pressure. We're going to take some heavy casualties, but manpower is not really a concern for us in the slightest at this moment in time. Because Milan's the capital, so ideally if the red divisions can actually make it, then we're going to be golden, hopefully, and that'll be the Italians pretty much dead. They've lost 1 million men. There's a ton of Italian divisions in there. Are they going to get caught? They are. They have. Oh, there's a very sizable part of the Italian army dying. Yeah, they just... Oh my days. Don't know how many men we just killed there, but it's over. Okay, so we've got a choice now. The fate of the motherland. Italy now lies within our hands for Rome itself and the wider Italian peninsula, along with the birthplace of our own form of organised crime, that is Sicily. So we could keep Italy for ourselves, which gets us all cores on it, or we can puppet them. To be honest, do we really need Italy as core territory when we have all of America? I think we'll go ahead and puppet them. Okay, well that bugged out, so I just annexed Italy, and sadly we don't get cores on Italy now, but it is what it is. Well, that's the invasion of Cuba underway. And there's the first atomic bomb being used. Yep, atomic bombing of Santiago de Cuba. Oh, what's that? They're holding out in Havana? I don't think so. Oh, that's awkward. My troops actually landed on that one. That's been fully dropped, but hey-oh. And there we go. That is all of America ours. Under the glorious rule of anarcho-communism with Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow and the rest of the American mafia. Holy moly, Goring has 204 divisions. This is insane. Look at the border. Oh, Ethiopia's dead. Yeah, this is definitely going to be over very, very quickly. There is no way they're going to be able to withhold. And there goes Vladivostok, which means the Eurasian Empire has united Russia at this point. Yeah, we've just finished off Ethiopia that quickly. Well, the Axis of Bosses is a very, very big faction. And of course, we are an absolute Goliath of a nation. Look how many factories we have. Look how much manpower we have. And that's with us only on extensive. We've been on partial mobilization the majority of the game as well. Our puppets will obviously be getting stronger as well. Goring is an absolute madman as well. 132 divisions, 4 million manpower. I think the Bardia Commune's growing quite substantially. They've got 36 million. They've only got 86 divisions. That's pathetic. 36 mil. They are a puppet of us, so we could conscript that manpower as well. But yeah, a very fun game. I did not expect it to go that well with Bonnie and Clyde, the co-anarchists. So yeah, very fun game, and I hope you enjoyed. So I shall catch you all in the next video. So until then, take care. Goodbye the now.